Dear students of English grammar, academics and competitive exams, we welcome you in our lecture 13 English version lecture, in which we have a series voice from active voice to passive voice. And in this series today we have a topic infinitive, and we are going to transform the sentences based on infinitive into passive voice. Students, to know the passive voice based on infinitive, we must come to know what is the structure of infinitive, and we must define what is infinitive. Now let's begin what is infinitive. Students, infinitive is a type of main verb when main verb isn't used as main verb, and we use it sometimes as an adverb, sometimes as a noun, and generally we use this 2 plus first form to show purpose. Basically, infinitive is known as the use 2 plus first form in a sentence. Whenever we see 2 plus first form of main verb, it is called infinitive. Infinitives are of many types. Infinitives are of many types. First type is simple infinitive, in which we use 2 plus first form. Then we can say bare infinitive. Bare infinitive is an infinitive in which we use first form only, we don't use 2. And this first form is used other than main verb. And students, next is perfect infinitive. In perfect infinitive we use to have plus third form, and this is used to display the past things. And the fourth is left, that is continuous infinitive, in which we use to be plus first form and then ing to show the continuity. Now students, let's see the example, let's see the structure of a sentence that is based on infinitive. Generally you use subject plus linking verb plus 2 plus first form then object, and we will use it to transform into passive voice. If we have a structure this type of sentence, then the form of passive voice will be like this. We change subject and object just like you have done in your previous lectures. Object has been placed on the place of subject in nominative case, and 2 plus first form, which is in active voice, we do to be plus third form in passive voice. Then usually you use your subject subject in the end of the sentence with by, and you use subject in objective case in the end of the sentence. Now students, let's see how we use infinitive in passive voice form. Student, this is M. Rehman, and you are attending Oracy classes of English language. Please to continue with us with these new topics, and to complete your series of passive voice, please don't forget to subscribe our channel Oracy classes of English language. And if you like our lectures, please don't forget to like and share. Now to study infinitive based passive voice, now let's begin with this example number 1. I am to teach them in the classroom. Students, this sentence is based on this structure, subject plus be. Be means linking verb, and linking verb is am here. A linking verb is a verb where when we don't use any main verb with the words is, are, am and was, were. Now I am to teach them in the classroom. This sentence is long, but just you focus the subject. The subject is I here, and the object is them. This them is not the object of finite verb or main verb. This is the object of infinitive to teach. Means this sentence is based on infinitive, and usually them will be on the place of subject I in nominative case, and according to they you will use are, and then the passive voice of 2 plus first form will be to be plus third form in, and rest part of the sentence then by me. Me means by plus subject, and subject will be written in objective case. Finally, our answer is they are to be taught in the classroom by me. In our example number 2, we were to study geography well, and this is in form of an interrogative sentence, and usually you will pick your subject we, and your object is geography. Geography is the object of the infinitive to study, and subject is we, and you will change this geography and you place this geography on the place of subject we. and 2 plus study first form will be changed into to be plus third form, means to be studied, and then the rest part, remaining part of the sentence well, and in the end you will write by plus subject in objective case. And your answer in passive voice becomes was a geography to be studied well by us. Now let's begin with example number 3. You were not to follow me, sir. I have added here, sir, to give a new look in the sentence, to give a new structure in the sentence. And students, you may confuse if you see sir or madam here. I just use it so that you may be used to of all such structures. Students, you were not to follow me, sir. Sir will remain on its own place, and this noun sir is used in vocative case. Whenever we address somebody, that is called vocative case. Anyway, your main point is what is subject and what's object. Your object is me and your subject is you. So me will come on the place of your subject in nominative case I, and according to I you will use was in past. Not will remain on its own place, and 2 plus form will be changed into to be plus third form. And then by you, sir, means you usually transform it into passive voice, and vocative case will be written in the end of the sentence. Now let's see example number 4. He has to perform his duty there. He has to perform. What subject? He. And what's object? His duty. Now you will interchange the places of subject and object. An object, his duty, that is an object of infinitive to perform, will come on the place of subject he, his duty. I have written in blue color. Generally I write objects in blue color. Then we see there is has. Now I have used is, are, and was, were, but now I have new word has, and it is has to perform. Definitely, like is to be performed, was to be performed, it will also be changed into has to be performed. Rest part of the sentence there and by subject in objective case. Your answer is his duty has to be performed there to there by him. Is to plus first form will be changed into passive voice. Is to be plus third form. In the same way, if you have has, have, had to plus first form will be changed into has, have, had to be plus third form. Now students, I have a new example, example number 5 before you. It is time to ban some drugs. There is a specific structure based on it is time. Whenever you have it is time, it is time, it is time, you write it is time as it is, and then you just try to find infinitive and then object. Object will come before this infinitive, and it will follow for, means follow for will be written and then object. It is time for plus object, then to be plus third form. Now you can see the solution here. It is time for some drugs to be banned. In this way, you will follow the same rule without doing anything extra in it. You just learn it and you use the same pattern in your other example. Just like it is not the time to read the book, it is not the time to purchase the book, then you will write it is not the time for the book to be purchased. Now let's see in example number 6. Sumit will not have to leave his office now. This sentence is based on future. I have used present, past, and use of has to, have to, had to, and now I am using will, means future. Sumit will not have to leave his room now. Of course, you will go according to the usual rules. You just identify what is subject. Sumit is subject, and the object of to leave is his office. His office is placed on the place of Sumit, subject his office. Okay, his office will not have to be left now by Sumit. You please don't be confused that you will use been because there is have. Student, this is not a main verb. Whenever we see have or has or had in perfect tenses, then there is third form. And suppose I have done my work has been done by me. There is neither third form nor it is without to. So we will not use been. It is infinitive. Just like you use has to plus first form, has to be a plus third form, is to plus first form will be changed into passive voice, is to be plus third form. In the same way, will have to plus first form will be changed into passive voice, will have to be plus third form. His office not will remain on its own place, As I have already told you in the previous lectures, in that lecture of future perfect, if your helping verb is in more than two parts or more than one part, you use not, you use never, always, generally just after the first part, because there are two parts, will and have. Then not will be used just after first part, means his office will not have to be left. Rest part of the sentence, now and then by Sumit, subject in objective case. Now let's see example number 3, that is a special example. The house of Mr. Khanna is to let. This house is in itself an object, but because of being this sentence in linking verb, there is no effect of its being subject or object. But in passive voice, it's very important to find out object first. Whenever we write any sentence in passive voice, we just write object in the beginning, and the house of Mr. Khanna will remain as it is because it is an object, and the passive voice of to let is will be to be let, and is will remain as it is. So this example must be learned as it is, and you can use this format in many other sentences based on to let. Now let's come to the example number 8. This example number 8 is based on long sentence. Just you see, this is neither only based on main verb, not only alone infinitive, but both the finite and non-finite verbs are placed here. Now it's getting confusing. Now you see, my aunt hates to sleep in the day. Students, we can use to sleep in passive voice, and we can use this main verb into passive voice, but to transform into passive voice, the main thing is I need object. I need object, and so far as object is concerned, hates can have an object. Suppose I had Mr. Sharma, then Mr. Sharma is an object. There are two things, whether I have used object after hates or not, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that is there any object after this verb or not. Some verbs are there that doesn't have any object at all. The verbs that don't have any object at all are called intransitive verbs, means without object. But some verbs have objects that are called transitive verbs, and sometimes they don't have temporarily object after them. It doesn't matter. I mean, hates can be used with object or without object, but to sleep doesn't have never to sleep never has any object. To sleep is a verb that is based on not any object, means it doesn't have any object, so it is intransitive verb. So whenever we don't have any object, we can't change that part into passive voice. That's why I have give up this part into transforming into passive voice. So I picked, if I am resolute to transform this sentence into passive voice, I suppose it after hates. My aunt hates to sleep in the day. But in the sentence, visibly, there is neither here nor here. There is no object anywhere. But I suppose it after hates, and I use this it in place of Mr. my aunt. And I wrote it. It is in present indefinite. That's why I use is here, hated to sleep in the day by my aunt. Now I transformed the first part, which is based on main verb, into passive voice, and I didn't change the next part in the last part into passive voice because there is no object. So you see here, simply whenever you don't have any object but your verb is transitive, you can use it on your own, and you can use it in the beginning at the place of subject. So now my answer is, it is hated to sleep in the day by my aunt. Now let's see example number 9. This example is based on finite and non-finite verbs, and we can change both the parts into passive voice. Now let's begin. This may prove to be the most complicated sentence, but actually this is not the most complicated, just it's a matter of understanding. I expect my father to solve this problem immediately. Now you see, my father is an object of expect, and my father is a subject to solve. Now I have created a box. I have enclosed my father with a box, and this box half part of this box is blue and half is green. Why? Because whenever we wrote any subject, I always display with green color, and whenever I display object, I use blue color. So my father is an object of the verb expect. Suppose I am going to make a passive voice based on expect, then I will use my father as an object. But if I transform to solve into passive voice, then my father will act as a subject, and this problem will be object of this infinitive to solve. Okay, let's begin to transform this sentence into passive voice based on infinitive first, and then we will do it based on verb. Now let's see, if we are not going to transform our sentence into passive voice in main verb, we are not going to use main verb, then I will write the part of main verb as it is, because I am going to transform my sentence into passive voice with the help of infinitive. That's why I will do some changes in infinitive, and the part of main verb will remain as it is. I expect. My father is subject of to solve, and this problem is object. This problem will come on the place of my father and to be solved by my father. In this way, I have changed this part into passive voice. My father up to this problem. This problem to be solved by my father. Okay. Then I expect this problem to be solved my father. When infinitive is used after main verb, you need not use any is, are, am, was, were. Yes, pay attention to me. If you don't have any main verb, then you use is to, are to, am to, was to, were to, be third form. But when you have main verb written in the beginning and after object, you get infinitive. Then to change the second part of the sentence in passive voice, you need not write any is, are, am, or was, were in transforming passive voice. Now let's see again the solution. I expect this problem. This problem is placed on the place of my father to be solved by my father immediately. Now in the next part we will transform the part that is based on main verb or finite verb. When we transform the part of finite verb into passive voice, the rest part, the later part, the second part of the sentence will remain as it is. For example, I is subject, expect is main verb, my father is object. So to solve this problem immediately, I have written as it is. Okay. Now the changes are here. My father is expected to solve this problem immediately by me. I think you have got this example very well. After this example, I have one more example here. A pen is to write with. A pen is in itself an object, but because it is used with a linking verb, that's why it doesn't matter in this sentence whether it is subject or object. But especially when we change such sentences into passive voice, we must need object, and in the same way as I did in this sentence, it I used on my own, and in so as with this sentence I used it from my own. It is to be written with a pen. It is to be written with a pen. Now this sentence is used with linking verb is to be plus third form with a pen. I didn't write by a pen because by is used with a doer, but with a pen. Pen is an instrument, that's why I use with, and with instruments we use with. It is to be written with a pen. Now let's see example number 11. He was to have attended the marriage, but he fell ill. Student, this sentence is based on perfect infinitive. Perfect infinitive shows some unfulfilled work. Suppose that is not done. He was to have attended the marriage means he was to go to the marriage, but he didn't. But he didn't attend the marriage. But he fell ill, and moreover, it is based on clause. So we will transform the first part of this clause into passive voice that is based on infinitive, and we will not uh, change the next part, because fell ill can't be changed into passive voice because it doesn't have any object. So let's see the first part. He was to have attended the marriage. To have plus third form is perfect in infinitive, and the object of is to have attended is the marriage. Okay, so you put the marriage in place of he here. The marriage was to have been attended. You don't be confused that we have used not only was but also to have here, just as you use was plus 2 plus first form into was to be plus third form. In the same way, you use was to have plus third form into passive voice was to have been plus third form. So your sentence is he was to have attended the marriage but he fell ill. The marriage is object will come on the place of subject. The marriage was to have been attended by him, and the rest part of the sentence, but he fell ill. I have one more example here. I made him laugh. This sentence is based on bare infinitive, I mean direct infinitive. What is bare infinitive? In bare infinitive, we use first form without any to. So our main verb is made, but there is no object of this bare infinitive. That's why I'm not going to transform it into the passive voice based on infinitive. I am using made in transforming passive voice. Now see, I made him. Made is the second form of main verb. Him is object, I is subject. You change object and subject. Usually him will come to the place I and it will become he, and it is second form. That's why I will write was. He was made to laugh by me. I is written by me in form of by me here. Now the question is, why did I write to here? Why did I write to here? Students always remember, whenever we have a bare infinitive, in active voice we don't use to, but when we transform it into passive voice we use additionally to. Means I put to on my own additionally in case of passive voice, but in case of active voice we don't use to in bare infinitive. There are so many words based on bare infinitive, but we don't use to in case of let. Now this is the end of this lecture, and I hope this lecture proved to be very useful for you in your not only study in academics but also on higher standard or in competitive exams of English. So please, for such more lectures, you keep on watching Oracy classes of English language, and you please see our coming next lectures. And to get all the lectures on your screen, please don't forget to subscribe our channel Oracy classes of English language. And if you like our lectures, please don't forget to like and share. Thanks for being with us. Keep on watching, and thanks a lot.